What's going on, everybody? So today we have the new Q&A series. This is something that Blizzard likes to do once a month, but only started recently on November 30th. They had a little bit of a break for the holidays, so we get another one on January 19th. Now, these things are pretty fun because, well, hopefully, ideally, we're going to get some sort of clue into what's coming next, some sort of road ahead, and even more ideally, some sort of specific date. Like in this last one, they mentioned some specific things coming to the next content update. Let's see if they do that for this one. First off, here we have, when will players receive the ability to obtain additional stash space? This is something that I have personally been asking for in my videos since, about 2 months, about a month in, honestly. When I started saving items, I was like, oh dang, we have like no stash space. And they say the need for increased stash space is a popular request, and we hear you. There are plans to allow players to expand their stash space, creating the opportunity to store additional sets and legendaries, and experiment with multiple classes and class builds. Okay, so no real date, nor time frame, but it looks like they at least have it on their mind. So I guess that's pretty cool. I'm happy that they're thinking about it, but no real information that we can glean from this one. Next question we have, how can I easily see which events are currently live in Diablo Immortal? This is a big issue, especially for people trying to convert time zones in the middle of the game. I mean, come on, guys, we mess up all the time. It's like, it's so commonplace to happen. The regular events like Shadow War, right, in your vault timing, it's the same for the most part. But they do change it. They've changed like the daylight savings thing. And they've also, sometimes you just misconvert. It happens. And so it'd be cool to have like little notifications like, hey, you have Haunted Carriage coming up if you wanted to do that. And it said here, we have just the thing for you. In the near future, we're planning to add an in-game calendar feature accessible through the codex that will allow players to view both current and upcoming events. This would be very, very cool to have. I hope that on top of this, what they do is that they create some sort of notification system, so you can be like, hey, ping me when 30 minutes before the event or 15 minutes before the event, so you know that it's upcoming. I think 15 minutes is good enough because most of the content in the game doesn't really last longer than 15 minutes anyway, so that'd be pretty cool. Is there new PvP content coming? This is something that a lot of people have been asking, and honestly, I will say that the people who are here for PvP haven't really gotten much. So, it is exciting and to see some sort of new focus on PvP. I think that'd be pretty cool. And I personally enjoy PvP a lot. I just don't like the whole resonance mechanic, right? As I'm sure most people don't. I don't like the pay to win mechanic. So it's just less fun for me. So I don't really do it that often. Yeah, the answer here. Iterating upon Diablo Immortal's PvP offering is something that we're currently testing. We have a few avenues we're considering, and we'll have more details for you about new modes in the future. So that to me sounds like a few months out. When they say they are testing and they're considering and they have more details in the future, that to me sounds like, okay, we don't really have anything. We don't have any plans at the moment, but we want to add something, so we'll go ahead and drop some updates, giving you hints in the future. To me, this sounds like a few months out. That's what I get from this, which is a little unfortunate because we were hoping to have it a little bit sooner, but at least they are considering adding it, which is something that we didn't even know what was going to happen, right? In the last major update, you made tweaks to the monk class. Are there additional balance changes coming for other classes? Now, this is something that has been a hot issue for me, especially since I made a video, I titled it like buffs and nerfs, because they made a lot of the essence mastery. In my opinion, it's heavily favored towards ranged classes. And not only that, but I think some builds. And what I think that they did is they just basically gave numbers to certain items, but they didn't really think about the builds that those numbers would go into, right? So there's some builds that get way stronger because of the number tweaking, and then some builds that don't necessarily get as strong because of the combinations of legendary items that they're using. And so I was worried about this, and I wanted to know if they were going to do some balance changes, and hopefully we're going to get some sort of time frame for this one. Let's see here. Class health and balance are gameplay elements that we're constantly monitoring and evaluating for potential change. The tweaks made to the monk class were a grand expression of these efforts. As Diablo Immortal continues to evolve, we'll evaluate the state of our classes to determine if they too could benefit from additional tweaks. Okay, this is basically nothing. I guess they basically claim that monk class was good change for the monk class, which, some people could say it's way broken. And I would say that it's definitely on the side of way too strong at this point, with the recent changes. And then they say, we'll have to determine if they too could benefit from additional tweaks. So it sounds like they don't feel like anything is currently unbalanced. which I personally believe that the range classes are typically stronger than the melee classes. And with the recent monk changes, the monk has gotten way stronger in PvP specifically, especially with again, with all the changes that they got. So I don't know why. I'm surprised that they don't feel like anything should be balanced at the moment. That's what I get from this. When I read it, I see we don't have any real indication that any class is unbalanced, but we'll keep monitoring it. That's what I get from this one. And I don't know if I agree with that. I think that there are some things that could use some balancing personally. Some people talk about, oh, don't talk about nerfing classes, talk about buffing other ones. I think that nerfs and buffs are perfectly healthy. Whatever time you nerf something or buff something, as long as it's reasonable and within the balance of the game. I don't know why people are so against nerfs. I mean, I understand the emotional aspect of it, but nerfs are essentially buffs just in the reverse, right? Like if you buff a class, you indirectly nerf another class. You're just not actually tuning their numbers down. So I think buffs and nerfs are both good. But to be honest, I would like some buffs for the melee classes, particularly Barbarian and Crusader. So that's what I would say. Are there plans for more comprehensive or engaging events? Now, this is something that I've really hoped for and really wanted. I love the events that are like Fractured Plane, and they mentioned it right here. I actually have a couple videos coming out on the Fractured Plane, so stay tuned. Some of the channel if you guys want to check those out. We did a competition. Darth, Kyra, and we did a competition. It was super fun. I really enjoyed it, and I also went back for another video to give you guys some more advice as well as why you should be doing Fractured Plane, because it's really worth it. We have, yes, the Fracture Plane was our first event that introduced all new gameplay. Given the initial success of the event, we've been exploring other events that heavily modify Immortal's gameplay. We'll have more information on this for you in the future. Okay, I'm happy that they say that they'll do something considering, Fractured Plane was a good event. I really like Fractured Plane. It is my personal favorite thing to do in the game. I actually really enjoy it, but I don't enjoy doing it if there's no rewards. So I really only do it like once it comes out, like just the one time, and then I'm done, which is kind of unfortunate because I would love to replay it over and over again and speed run it, get better at it. The more I min-max it, the better rewards I get. I think that'd be super fun. So I'm hoping that they're going to be doing this soon. Then we have the next one, which is with 9 Paragon trees in the game, will we ever be able to activate multiple trees at once? How we expand Paragon trees is an active discussion our team is having now. With the recent expansions to Paragon levels, we see opportunities to also expand the functionality of Paragon trees. Multi-tree activation has of course come up in our discussions, but we're still early in the design process. We'll have more specific details for you in the near future. We're eager to see how we can evolve Paragon trees. Okay, so again, something that like, okay, yeah, we've heard this, but we don't know what we're going to do about it yet. All right, so here's what I'll say about this. I like the questions that they're answering. Okay, I like that they're addressing some quality of life things like the additional stash base. I hope they don't monetize this, but most likely they will. I like the calendar aspect. I like the idea that they're addressing PvP content, potential balance changes, new and engaging events, which I think are the lifeblood of mobile games. And of course, a major system within the game is the Paragon trees, and they're kind of stale. You run Treasure Hunter everywhere unless you're PvPing, and then you run Gladiator. That is the current meta, in my opinion. If you're going to run any sort of PvE content, you're going to want extra loot and extra XP, especially with the new Essence Mastery system. You're going to want Treasure Hunter everywhere, or Gladiator if you're PvPing. I mean, that's pretty much where it ends. It would be awesome to run like Duelist or Massacre with Treasure Hunter, so you could run kill streaks and go faster and get more loot at the same time. I think that'd be a fun combo. Or if you're PvPing, maybe you want to run Gladiator plus another tanky tree, or Gladiator plus like a Duelist tree. I think that'd be super fun to start kind of branching out, because currently there's only one good one, and then all the other ones are kind of worse. So I would love to see multi-activation of Paragon trees. But what I will say about this is, even though they're answering questions that I like, the major criticism I have for this is that they didn't really give us any information, to be honest, right? I like that they are willing to engage in this, so I don't want to discourage them from engaging. I think this is overall a good thing. This is better than nothing, 100%. I don't disagree with that, and I would love to see more of this. But I would love to see some more information given, some sort of like realistic time frame. That's something that I'm really missing, and maybe we'll never get that, but I personally can't really get excited about something necessarily coming from Blizzard unless it's given a date, because they are pretty slow about things coming to the game. This is something that I've noticed with the data mines, right? Data mining, you have this guy releasing information clearly that's been developed in the game, and it takes months to release. And even though I get excited, and I am excited, for example, about the PvP content or multi-tree Paragons, these are exciting things. It's hard for me to get realistically excited when they say we're eager to see how we can evolve in the future, in the near future, or we'll evaluate the state of our classes in the future, right? We'll have more information in the future. All that just says is, here are some questions that are very popular. Here are we know that they're on our radar, but we can't give you any information about it. So I'm a little disappointed because of that. But again, I want to say thanks to Blizzard for actually engaging with the Q&A series. I think this is a good thing, and I'm glad that they do it. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Again, are you excited for the things that they mentioned here? I think they chose good questions. These are the things that I think people want to see, but they didn't really give us any info, and that's what I am missing. So thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.